Hello, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Frank Omalape, and here are some of the reports we're filing at this time. The People's Democratic Party has challenged the All Progressive Congress to come out clear and explain to Nigerians the links between it and the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atayo Jega, which informs and propels its interest in Jega's stay in office. PDP National Publicity Secretary Olisa Metu made this call in a statement in Abuja, saying his party was more than curious that the APC has continued to fabricate stories and show undue interest in Jega, adding that such raise a lot of questions for the opposition and the INEC chairman. He claims the frenzy, hysteria and speech with which the APC has been inventing stories regarding Jega's stay in office, even when nothing suggests that such was on the table, raise a lot of issues. In his own words, Metu insists he wants the APC to come out clean and tell Nigerians the real reason behind their forced alliance and uncontrolled nervousness regarding Professor Jega ahead of the 2015 general elections. While the People's Democratic Party claims the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress party, Yemi Osinbajo, has worked to an oath to resign within 6 months if the party wins the March 28 presidential election. This, according to PDP's presidential campaign team, is to pave way for former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu to take up the position. Spokesman for the campaign team, Femi Fani-Kanode, said at a news conference in Abuja that the real plot is for Tinubu to eventually become president.
The People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Organization wishes to use this forum to expose the ungodly plan by Senator Tinubu to seize the presidency of Nigeria by subterfuge. You will recall how Senator Tinubu wanted to be running mate to General Muhammadu Buhari in spite of the nationwide resentment for a Muslim ticket that he and General Buhari planned to foist on their party men and women. Now, the real reason Senator Tinubu nominated Osinbajo has been made known to us, and we hereby offer a public service to the Nigerian people by drawing national attention to it. Credible pieces of information at our disposal indicate that Tinubu has perfected plans to come to power through the back door. Senator Tinubu, according to our information, has compelled Professor Osinbajo to swear to an oath that after 6 months in office, he would resign as the vice president in the unlikely event that their party wins. The wicked plot, as laid out by them, is to force Professor Osinbajo to resign for Senator Tinubu to be nominated by General Buhari as his replacement. The ultimate objective of this plot is to ensure that Tinubu becomes president.
And now the All Progressive Congress says the sickening and outlandish claim by the Goodluck Jonathan campaign organization that the APC national leader Bola Tinubu plans to become vice president through the back door is designed to divert attention from the success of the party's presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari at the Chatham House in London on Thursday. In a statement in London by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed, the party says the PDP and the Jonathan administration do not have any answer to what the APC described as an epochal moment that has separated wheat from the chaff. APC described the claim as the latest in a series of desperate moves by the PDP and the Jonathan administration since the emergence of Buhari as the APC presidential candidate, and the clearance indication yet that they have no answer to the unstoppable momentum of a man of history. APC said in as much as it had so far refrained from engaging Femi Fani-Kanode in what the party called his game of character assassination, abuses and irresponsible name calling, the party is becoming seriously concerned that they may be caving in under pressure and reverting to his undignified paths of self-consent abuse. Now the federal government has lashed out at Nigeria's leading opposition party, the All Progressive Congress, for allegedly indulging in propaganda in a bid to run down the achievements of the Jonathan-led administration. It also insisted that there were no plans to remove the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atayo Jega, Supervising Minister of Information and Minister of Culture and Tourism, Idem Duke, said this at his maiden interactive session with journalists in Abuja, lamenting that the INEC chairman will go through the natural process of exit from office at the appropriate time.
Truth struck down 1,000 times will always rise again, because the eternal age of time belongs to truth. And that is very true and peculiar of the Jonathan administration. You cannot use all the social media in this world and all the billboards and posters in this world to say that the trains that were not moving 30 years ago are not moving today. The issue of the INEC chairman, I aligned myself with what the president said, that he has no plan to sack the INEC chairman. That is not to say that if it is time for the INEC chairman to naturally exit his office, all right, then the natural course of, things will not take place.
A civil rights organization, Rule of Law Development Foundation, has dismissed insinuations that the presidency is plotting to send the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atairu Jega, on a terminal leave ahead of the 2015 elections. Senators from the All Progressive Congress had, at a media briefing in Abuja, alleged that arrangement has been concluded to send Jega on terminal leave next week. But former president of the Nigerian Bar Association and coordinator of the group, Joseph Dawda, faulted the position of the federal lawmakers at a forum in Abuja. He expressed confidence that the INEC chairman would not be asked to embark on terminal leave at this point in time. The leadership of the Urobo National Youth Council has condemned and described as unwarranted and undemocratic calls for sack of the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Atairu Jega, by members of the Asai Dokubo-led Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force. The group, in a statement signed by its national president Monday Onyege, stated that INEC is a public institution whose actions are conferred by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, stressing that it is undemocratic to call for the sack of its chairman. The statement claims it is height of a fallacy to describe Jega as being pretentious and hypocritical owing to the number of yet to be collected permanent voter cards in the southern part of the country compared to some northern states. And while the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says 78.93% of permanent voter cards have been collected across the country as of Thursday, February 26. Figures released by the INEC spokesman Kaudedo in Abuja show that 54,327,400 eligible voters have their cards. This is out of the 67 million cards the Commission says it delivered nationwide. A close look at the statistics indicates that Jigawa State has recorded a 98% rate of PVC collection, followed by Gombe with 95% and Akwa Ibom with 94%. The figure from Lagos State shows that 63% of voters have collected their cards, while the FCT has 62%. The only state with less than a 50% PVC collection is Ogun State, where only 44% of the cards have been collected by eligible voters. Away from that now, the Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Michael Adidotun Aremu Gbadebo, has declared that over 300,000 indigenes of Egbaland residing in the state are yet to collect their PVCs. He made this known while hosting the State Electoral Commissioner, Timothy Ibitoye, who was on a courtesy visit at his palace. A correspondent, Olajumoke Olatuji, has details.
With the recent statements of the Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun addressed to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) of the presence of alien PVCs in the state and constant demonstrations by human rights groups over the deficit in the distribution of the PVCs, The paramount ruler of Egbaland, Michael Adedotun Gbadebo, has also joined in the move to get more PVCs for indigenes of the state, with the declaration that over 300,000 indigenes of Egbaland residing in the state are yet to collect their cards, while appealing to INEC to look into the matter.
We are over 45% of Ogun State, that is Egba Traditional Council area in population. Whereas we don't have the number of local governments that we should have. Those who are about half of our population have more local governments than we have. And that means there are more representation at the federal house than we have. Now, in Egbaland, our people are still almost 300,000 people still have no PVC. Please, I am sure the Ogun State Broadcasting Corporation can assist at no charge to you to keep on announcing names of those whose cards are here, who are not aware.
The Residents Electoral Commission and Timothy Ubitoye disclosed that 4 top officials of the commission in the state had been sent to the national headquarters in Abuja in respect of the remaining PVCs.
I want to appeal to His Royal Majesty to please assist INEC in the forthcoming general elections. Unfortunately, Ogun State INEC is having challenges, especially again the issue of permanent voters' cards. But it's not our own making at the state level. We are expecting the remaining balance of the PVC from the headquarters of INEC in Abuja. And I'm assuring the Cabinet that every eligible voter in Ogun State will get the PVC before election.
Despite the affirmation by the Commission to distribute all PVCs before election, some residents of Ogun State are, however, still doubtful that this will be done. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Abeokuta.
And as the controversy over the issue of card readers continue to linger, Imo State Director of the National Orientation Agency, Vitus Okocha, says the card reader should not be seen as an issue since it's been around for over a year now. A correspondent Ajibade, our official, spoke with him and has the details in this report.
The Imo National Orientation Agency boss, while reacting to the lingering controversy over the card readers, says it is nothing but a storm in a teacup.
Yeah, in the first place, I don't see why there should be a controversy over the issue of card reader. Because in the election guideline brought out by INEC, even before the rescheduling of the election, the issue of the card reader has been there. And since last year, INEC has been talking about the introduction of card reading machine. And I understand from the guidelines that the card reader is only going to be used for accreditation. The accreditation process has 3 areas. One is the card reader, the other one is the verification of the voters register, and then the inking of the voter. After that, they issue you with they call the accreditation tag. Then what person is to be done? The accreditation is not going to be used. You will now come in with that accreditation tag, look at your name, that it has been accredited on the register, they tick it, issue you with ballot papers, you go and vote, and go away.
He also reacted this way to the issue of void vote during elections, while also educating people on how to vote to avoid wasting their votes as voided ones.
The voters, how to vote. For instance, look at the political parties and their symbols. Here, if you look at here, we demonstrated how to thumb print. If you thumb print inside the box, you have done it very well. But if you thumb print and it is outside that box, it becomes void. Apart from that, we have told them that when they thumb print,
they shouldn't fold it horizontally like this, because once you fold it, the ink may go to the other parties they say. But if you do it vertically like this, I mean, you have done the right thing. So we have been going from one town hall, from one village to the other, educating the people, enlightening them on how to vote and vote wisely, so that we can avoid the issue of void votes.
Other officials also spoke on the issue of card readers, while urging all Nigerians to embrace the issue of card readers.
I mean, people should not make unnecessary noise about the card reader. I think with the card reader, we will have a credible and fair election. Because going by the teachings of INEC and the National Orientation Agency, you can see that the card reader will help in giving us a free and fair election, because it's genuine and it's very easy to operate.
No, it's not too easy for people to accept something new. It's just a new an innovation in what we have been doing earlier. So I think that is just a problem, but I believe it's going to work. We have faith in INEC that it's going to work well.
Well, I support it, because one day starts a 10. If we are developing, we are going to develop from stage to stage. By this time, the card reader, we have been assured that to minimize rigging. And I believe in that, and I want to support it totally, for us to minimize rigging. The issue of rigging is not a fair situation in democracy.
They say the agency will continue to do more to educate people on how to vote and ensure a violence-free elections in the states. Ajibade Awofeso, CoreTV News, Owerri.
You're still watching the CoreTV News at 7, but take a short break. We'll be back with more stories after this time out. Do join us again.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page is facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News Nigeria. For live streaming, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. The Nigerian military says troops on cordon and search operation along Jimitolu-Damaturu Road on Friday night seized a number of machine guns and rifles from terrorists after a fierce battle that lasted several hours. It added that the firefight to dislodge the terrorists resulted in the death of some of them. Defense spokesman Major General Chris Olukolade said in a statement that several of the insurgents died in a fire that gutted the house they had made their base. A soldier was, however, killed in battle while another was wounded and is undergoing treatment. And similarly, soldiers in pursuit of Boko Haram members in Gulak, Adamawa State, were said to have had a shootout with insurgents who were in the process of blowing up a bridge to deter troops' advancement. The military authorities say the Nigerian soldiers are continuing their cordon in search of the town and the environs after overpowering the terrorists. They also recover weapons and have been dismantling Boko Haram flags hoisted in the town after recapturing it. President Goodluck Jonathan is confident that Nigerian troops will recover more territories from Boko Haram insurgents as they step up the momentum of ongoing counter-terrorism operations. He expressed his optimism at an audience with the outgoing French ambassador to Nigeria, Jacques Champagne, in Abuja. President Jonathan said officers and men of the Nigerian army he met on the front line in Borno and Adamawa State were in high spirits, well prepared and determined to successfully complete their operations against Boko Haram. Presidential spokesman Ruben Abati quotes the president as saying that the soldiers will soon clear the terrorists out of other areas they are still occupying. He also restated Nigeria's appreciation of France's support for the country and its neighbors in the fight against terrorism, and commended President François Hollande for organizing the Paris Summit of Heads of State in May 2014. In his remarks, Ambassador Labrol said that France was confident in the future of Nigeria and its ability to continue in playing a huge role in African world affairs. The Department of State Service wants operators of motor parks to properly screen vehicles, passengers and luggages entering their premises. It also advised them to look out for new faces who show up as drivers and bus conductors. This, according to DSS, is because Boko Haram has resorted to venting its anger on sub-target after the sustainer air and ground offensive on its position in the northeast. A spokesperson, Marilyn Oga, also cautioned members of the public to desist from boarding unmarked vehicles along the road. The police authorities say the number of suspects are in custody for their roles in disrupting the governorship rally in All Progressive Congress in Okrika, River State. Speaking exclusively to CoreTV News in Abuja, the Force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Ojukwu says despite the arrest, investigations are still ongoing into the shooting incident that left at least one policeman dead. He also called on politicians to play the game by the rules while assuring the public of the police readiness to deal with anyone involved in acts capable of disrupting the peace.
Because sometimes when a matter happens, another one comes subsequently and we forget the former ones. Police investigations are thorough and they must be detailed. They are not things you do overnight. They are not quick fixes. If you want to investigate a case that involves life or use of firearms, some of these are very serious offenses, some are capital offenses. You must be detailed. It takes time. And so investigation, being a laborious exercise, has to be allowed to run its full course. Don't just hurry, in one day you've completed investigation. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. So investigation into those cases you've just mentioned are ongoing. Maybe a number of them may have been concluded and the suspects charged to court. But if you do a follow-up, you may find them in court. I can tell you we're not sleeping on any of such matters.
The celebration of Valentine is meant to be an expression of love and affection, but it was a gory day for the family of Abimbola Ogidiolu, who was set ablaze by his wife over the day's celebration. Bimbo now lies in critical condition at the General Hospital at Duikiti as the police vowed justice against the suspect. A correspondent, Rashid, monitored the development and now reports.
The scenario surrounding the story of Abimbola Ogidiolu is that of love gone sour, and making it more peculiar is that the tragic incident happened on days supposedly used in celebrating love and loved ones. But to Bimbo Ogidiolu, the best way to celebrate him on the 14th of February is to set him ablaze by his wife, as confirmed by the Ekiti State Police Command.
We received a complaint of a woman who poured petrol on her husband and set him ablaze during the Valentine period. So the police swung into action. Our detectives went there, arrested the woman, and they rushed the husband to the hospital. I understand he has first-degree burns on his body. So the woman is still in our custody. We're trying to unravel the mystery behind our action. So the investigation is ongoing. And as soon as the investigation is completed, she will be charged to court.
To Folake Ogidiolu, the traumatized mother of Bimbo, reliving the gory incident and how that has changed the course of her life was not an easy narration when CoreTV News visited his hospital bed.
His wife poured petrol on him on Valentine's Day, accusing her husband for not allowing her to go out. She threatened setting Bimbo ablaze, but the threat was dismissed by him. Until she poured the petrol meant for their generator on him, and before the husband would dash out, she has already set him ablaze.
The survival of Bimbo, suffering from first-degree burns, still hang in the balance. The family, as they seek for justice, never close their eyes on help over the piling medical expenses of Bimbo, which they could not afford any longer. But to the police, justice, they say, will be dispensed accordingly.
We're going to charge her for attempted murder. The law is there. The long arm of the law always catch up with them.
I plead for help from the government so as not to lose Bimbo because we've been financially exhausted and the hospital bill is piling up every day.
As Bimbo Gideolu lies critically ill and the estranged wife suspect goes at police cell, it is expected that the laws of the land will take its course as Bimbo also faces the battle for his survival. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Quite a sad one there. And that's a wrap on CoreTV News at 7. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. I'll see you again.